Good morning. It's Saturday, June 14th. I'm Hena Doba. This is Morning in America. And you are looking live at the Washington Monument in our nation's capital, and security preps at the National Mall. It is a big day in D.C. as the city gets ready to celebrate the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army. Official festivities get underway later this hour, all wrapping up with a large military parade tonight. That begins at 6:30. It will end at the Ellipse, where there will be a concert and remarks from President Trump. It's his birthday today as well. But let's begin with the fast-moving developments in the Middle East, as both Israel and Iran target one another with a new round of strikes overnight. We are now taking a live look at Tel Aviv. This is a much different scene than just a few hours ago, during Iran's launch of multiple missile strikes across Israel, lighting up the night sky. Those attacks leaving at least 2 people dead, more than a dozen others injured, as tens of thousands were sent scrambling to nearby bomb shelters. You actually hear the sirens. A short time later, Israel responded with an attack targeting Tehran, hitting dozens of targets. This is the latest move in Israel's ongoing mission to weaken Iran's aerial defense capabilities. Iran's state television reports at least 60 people have been killed. The White House says President Trump is closely monitoring the developments in the Middle East and that U.S. forces in the region are on high alert. And that includes U.S. Ambassador to Israel, good friend of the show, Mike Huckabee, who says he had to take shelter 5 times during the night as Iran launched its strikes on the country. NewsNation's Libby Dean is live at the White House this morning. Libby, no doubt a busy day. Iran state media reporting Iran has warned the U.S., the U.K., and France that their ships in the region will be targeted if they interfere. What are you hearing from the Trump administration as this conflict is quickly unfolding?
Certainly a busy day, Hena, but the White House remaining relatively quiet this morning. But President Trump spent the majority of his Friday in the Situation Room, receiving those constant updates on that war that broke out between Iran and Israel. And he also worked the phone, speaking with world leaders like Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, all while meeting behind closed doors and consulting with his national security team. This all taking place on Friday. And U.S. officials, they remain firm in their message this morning that any attack on American forces will be met with overwhelming force. And overnight, the U.S. ambassador to Israel aiming to remind Americans of why they should care about what's happening in Israel. Ambassador Huckabee writing on social media, 700,000 Americans live in Israel, and more Americans live in Israel than any other country excluding Mexico. Huckabee writing, Iran isn't just attacking Israel, but your fellow Americans who live here. President Trump has not spoken publicly since this war between Israel and Iran broke out, but we are expecting to hear from him later this evening at the Army's 250th anniversary parade, Hena, which of course does coincide with his birthday, which is today.
Libby, we keep talking about timing when it comes to Iran and Israel. It comes against the backdrop of ongoing nuclear negotiations between the U.S. and Iran. That was supposed to happen tomorrow. Where's the possibility of that standing now?
This really remains up in the air, Hena, but President Trump is saying that this is a second chance for Iran to strike a nuclear deal with the U.S., posting on social media that Iran may have surpassed his 60-day ultimatum that he ultimately set to make a deal, but now they have perhaps a second chance. That is what the president was posting on social media yesterday morning. But overnight, Iran's foreign minister is saying that U.S. actions have made dialogue, quote, meaningless, stating that the U.S. cannot claim to negotiate and at the same time divide work by allowing Israel to target Iran's territory. That is Oman, the Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson who stated that. Now, neither side has formally withdrawn from the 6th round of talks that were scheduled to take place tomorrow in Oman, so we'll see how this develops in the coming hours, Hena.
We certainly will. Libby Dean live at the White House for us. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.